Hi, folks, and welcome to Walking on the Weene Side. And today I have a very special guest to walk with me. Her name is Monica Brinkman. She's a dear friend. She is the host of It Matters Radio, and she is a wonderful author who has written a few books, but the two we're going to be particularly interested in tonight are Turn of the Comic Wheel and The Wheel's Final Turn, because both of those books focus on a really important concept for a lot of us, and that is the concept of karma. And Monica, welcome, and let's take a stroll on the Weene side.
I can't wait, Ken, and thank you so much for inviting me on. I look forward to this. Um, gosh, karma, great
Yeah,
topic, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. What does that word mean to you?
What karma means to me, and I know a lot of people have very different takes on it, but what it basically means to me is what you give out to the world, you're going to get back.
Kind of a law of return.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's people might call it justice, and they might call it many things, Judgment Day, they might call it.
Of course, it started as a concept in India, and it's found in both the Hindu religion, and then later on it found its way into Buddhism. And in that kind of the part of the world, it's usually a concept that goes along with reincarnation.
Yeah,
That if I behave properly, to use a general term, in this life, then in the next life I will return at a higher order of being. Uh, you know, do you hold to this notion of reincarnation?
and not really. Though I do believe in reincarnation,
Mhm.
but I don't believe as the Buddhists do in that aspect of it. In fact, I feel personally that um, the higher level you reach, the more difficulty you will have in life because
Ah,
you're a higher spirit at that point, and you can take more.
so the life will give you more difficulty.
Yes. So the people that you see that come into life that have major disabilities, to
Mhm.
me, they're in a much higher vibration than we people who have all the riches and luxuries in the world.
So, in a sense, then you're saying that people who are born in a place like, say, South Sudan are maybe at a higher level of being than people who are born here in the United States.
Yeah, because I think what they have done is they have sacrificed themselves or their life, their body, because I think spirit's within all of us and has nothing to do with our body. And I feel that that's to teach lessons to other people in the world.
Ah,
And unfortunately, some of those lessons are very harsh.
mhm.
But without adversary, there would, everything would be the same, and we would have no life. You have to have the yin and the yang, and the good and the bad, and the white and the dark.
Mhm. So, when you create characters, you think of the characters who have it kind of the easiest are the ones that perhaps you have less sympathy for than the ones who are really bucking the tide.
Absolutely. Yeah, because to me they're at a much lower level, and it's not that they're bad people. And in fact, I've had people say that to me, that it's not that my people are completely evil,
Mhm.
but they aren't good people. They're more self-absorbed about themselves than they are about helping other people.
Okay.
It's all about them. The whole world real is about them.
So a rich narcissist, for example, is at a lower plane than say, a person struggling, even though they don't have a lot, to maybe make the world a better place.
Yeah, and it also has to go into their actions because you'll see people that don't have hardly anything, but yet they're volunteering their time,
Yeah.
or they're giving the veteran that's out on the street with a cup or something. They're giving him their last dollar just so he can get something, to eat or a cup of coffee or anything. And you know, I believe that people touch each other's lives in many, many ways in every single thing we do every day. And we
Mhm.
don't even know it many times.
Well, now let's stop there for a minute. Do you really want to just leave this whole issue about people touching people, or what about people touching other aspects of the world, animals,
Yeah.
and even the plants perhaps have spirit.
Oh, yeah. I think they've done scientific studies and just to prove that plants do have feelings and emotions and they react.
Yes, and protect one another, which I think
Yes.
is very fascinating. And of course, fungi, like mushrooms and such, are interconnected in ways that now we are beginning to understand that before we had no notion. Now, when we talk about doing the right thing, the right action,
Mhm.
this brings up a very interesting area of intellectual conflict that can kind of push us a little bit, and that is a related concept to karma, the concept of dharma, which, of course, again, we find starting in the Hindu religion. And in the Hindu religion, as you know, there's a caste system.
Yes.
And if you are, of course, they believe the higher the caste is, the more evolved you are,
Mm.
and which is the opposite of how you're looking at it. But what they say is that, for example, there's a caste of Brahmins, priests, then there's a caste of military caste, I believe, and then there's a merchant caste, and
Mm.
at the bottom there's untouchables who are supposed to,
Yes.
now the concept of dharma says that right action has to be appropriate to who you are.
Mm.
So, for example, if you are an untouchable, then your right action has to include not stepping on the shadow of a higher caste person.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, obviously, you and I, especially anybody who lives in the modern world, we know that's pretty much impossible. Maybe you could get away with it in rural India, you know, 500,000 years ago. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But to what degree does a concept of dharma enter in? That what is the right action for, say, you may not be the right action for your neighbor.
Exactly. And but that's all that comes into freedom of choice. And I, for one, believe that each person has to be responsible for their own choice of how they believe. It's very personal to them. And what's right for me might not be right for someone else. But I also believe, Ken, that okay, let's go way, 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 way back into what we know. And what we know is that we have a sky and we have planets. And we know that we live and we die. Um, I believe that these planets, and this goes back a long, long, long time ago before there was even, it might have been one of the oldest religions, that the planets are in a area because of a reason. I mean, look how we would be as the Earth if we didn't have the sun and we didn't have the moon in the exact right positions. So when we go back to what we can really see, um, I just believe that people all believe in the same thing when it comes down to it, but they have their own rules and regulations and uh, concepts of it all.
Now, you do understand, as you say that, I'm sure, that were you living in traditional Indian Hindu community, they would probably stone you or
Oh
something.
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure that you realize that if you were living in Europe in the, say, the 14th, 15th century, they'd be burning you
Mhm.
at the stake.
Yes,
And to be honest, if you were living in much of the Muslim world today, they'd be beheading you or whatever.
exactly.
I mean, you do understand that what
Excuse
you're
me.
saying is from the point of view of many religions heretical.
Hmm. But when you go back at those religions, these were man-made religions. They were put in place to control people.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean, I mean, now people might get upset about what I say, but if you really look at religions, they're there because they tell you to act a certain way. They preach to you about doing this or doing that. And it's according to which religion it is that you react. And you live your life a certain way because of it. And you have certain beliefs because of it.
so now if you believe in Dharma as right action and your religion teaches you something, then you have the problem of can you have good karma, good return if you don't behave in keeping with your religion? And that raises all kinds of questions that I'd like to let you folks ponder for a bit
Yes.
while we learn a little bit more about one of Monica Brinkman's wonderful books by watching a brief YouTube video, a book trailer. Welcome back, folks. And I sure hope that you look for Monica Brinkman's books. The easiest way to do that, by the way, is go on Amazon.com and go for Monica Brinkman, Brinkman. And Monica, just as an aside here, your books are available in Kindle
Mhm.
and print edition, paper edition, and Nook. And any other forms or formats we want to mention?
Well, the Turn of the Karmic Wheel is available in audio also.
Oh, great.
And one other thing that a lot of people might not know is if they do want to get an ebook, um, we can give them one that is autographed.
Hmm.
Also, if they go to my site and click on the little autograph icon, we'll make that happen for them.
And that's on your own site.
Yes.
And that website is?
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask me this and I didn't write it down. It's let me get the exact right one because I don't want to. It's a little bit
Okay.
different.
Well, while Monica's looking for that website address, because we want to make sure you get the right one.
Yeah.
Uh, again, I want to mention the titles of these: Turn of the Comic Wheel and the Wheel's Final Turn. And Monica also has three ebooks that are Tales from the Brink. And you might want to look for those. They're filled with her short fiction, much of it even flash fiction, and
Yes.
lots of neat turns and ideas to be discovered there. Okay, the website if you have.
Okay, it's a little bit long, guys, but I hope you'll go there. It's called itmattersradio.wixsite.com/ on the brink.
Okay,
And
and of course, It Matters Radio is this wonderful show in which this is part, but where Monica does music every day of the week,
yeah,
and the most recent music and all kinds of interesting things. And then on Sunday, interviews folks who are in the music industry. Sometimes I even help out with that.
yeah, it's always a treat.
So, Monica, beside sharing music with the world and writing about karma, how do you, as a human being, live your life to bring about good return to you, positive?
Okay. The first thing I attempt to do in my life is not to judge other people because I personally feel that I can only judge myself. I don't know what's going on with each other, the other people. So that's one of the things I try very hard not to do. I mean, we all have likes and dislikes. I'm not saying that, oh, I think it's okay for somebody to murder somebody, but I really do my best to only judge myself each and every day. Um, I think there's so many little things that you can do every single day, and what I try to do is smile a lot. Say hello to people. If
Positive energy.
Yeah, if someone needs assistance, you see a cart rolling away from them or something, go over there and help them. Um, but I'm not saying that I'm a wonderful person because I do this. I just feel that that's part of the karma also because when you give out that goodness, you get it back.
Mhm.
And if you give out negativity, then you're going to get a lot of negativity. I would like people to try their best each day to get up. And I know there's terrible circumstances we all have. I have them, Ken, you have them, everybody does. But to get up in the morning and greet the morning with a smile and try your best to have a positive mindset when you get up. And it's remarkable how much that helps
Mhm.
because
Anything that you're doing in the broader world, like
uh, as
using It Matters Radio, for example.
yeah, I was going to say the reason, and can you know this? We created It Matters Radio to give voice to talent, and we're concentrating a lot on music right now because the music industry is probably one of the hardest industries that are around today. Um, I know that writing is a very difficult industry also, but the cost of writing a book and creating a book and selling a book compared to what it takes for musicians and singers and such to do that, it can't be compared. I mean, we're talking maybe that hundreds versus thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And there is so much talent out there. And in all honesty, the music industry, at least in the United States, I don't know what it's like everywhere else, is mm, I'm not going to say corrupt, but it is based a lot on money. It's based on a lot of who you know, and it's not based solely on talent.
So you are trying to help people who have talent who
Yes,
would otherwise perhaps not be noticed. And by the way, folks, in case you don't know, uh, Monica and It Matters Radio have been pretty successful in that regard, even helping people to get connections to
yes.
recording studios and things like that. And It Matters Radio has helped a lot of musicians to make it upward in what is an incredibly difficult business.
Oh, it's horrible. And the truth is, Ken, and you know this also, we very seldom recommend anything, but if people ask us, I will get them in touch with people that we know are very honest and upfront, and
You
will not own them, will not own their music, will not own them at all, but
you
will do the
mentioned something very important as part of this positive search for karma or positive attempt to be aware in one's life that a lot of it has to do with decency.
yes,
See,
absolutely.
yeah, and one of your goals, and I've noticed this about you, is that you try and connect decent people with one another.
Right, right, because I like to have positive energy around me,
Mhm.
and I think most people should try to do that. Have positive friends, because other people drain you.
Yes.
You're not responsible for that person who's decided that they're just going to be negative their whole life and do the whole, I call it the Mary Hartman syndrome for anybody who remembers that soap opera. But things happen in life to everybody, believe me.
Hmm.
And we all have our drama that we could tell in woe is me story. Some are worse than others, but you can't fixate on the negative because that's what you're going to get back.
Good, but you're also implying something else that I want to mention, which is that being aware of others and helping others is very important. I call it compassion.
Hmm.
But there is a difference between compassion and codependency.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
don't, the goal is to find those people who can use the positive energy you offer to create their own positive energy and
Correct.
not find people who are going to suck on your positive energy until it's all gone
Right.
in an endless attempt to
Right.
help them with their lives. So, folks, there are some very basic rules there. And notice none of them had to do with following a particular religion or a particular political party. You can be a conservative Republican and live a good life
Hmm.
and have positive Dharma, a positive sense of Dharma. And you can be a liberal Democrat and have a positive sense of Dharma. You can be a Catholic, a Jew, a Buddhist, a Muslim. It is not about taking your dogma into life,
No.
taking your intent into life.
Yeah. You said that very well, Ken.
And Monica, I believe that you have selected something for us to watch at the very end of the show that maybe will help people to think a little bit more about the meaning of karma, which has been our topic today. And folks, thank you for joining us and walking on the Ween side. And I particularly want to thank my wonderful guest and dear friend, Monica Brinkman, for joining me.
Well, thank you, Ken. It has been fun. Okay, here we go.
Wanna do some good in this world, separate all the swine from all of the pearls. I gotta do some good in this world of mine. Don't need a reason, just give me some time. I won't go out of my way for fortune or fame. But if they fell into my lap, you know I won't complain. Would I use them to further my aim and pay it all forward again and again? Wanna do some good in this world, separate all the swine from all of the pearls. Gotta do some good in this world of mine. Don't need a reason, just give me some time. I could raise up my hand, man the stations, open up my checkbook and make a donation. Pick up my guitar, write a song about who we are and how we all belong. Wanna do some good in this world, separate all the swine from all of the pearls. Wanna do some good in this world of mine. Don't need a reason, just give me some time. Time thinking about me, and the rest of the time I just spend watching TV. I'm not looking for a pat on the back, just thinking about how I can pick up the slack. Wanna do some good in this world, separate all the swine from all of the pearls. Gotta do some good in this world of mine. Don't need a reason, just give me some time. Wanna do some good in this world, wanna do separate all the swine from all of the pearls. Gotta do some good